Well, welcome to a sadly rushed amateur workshop of how to draw armor, part 1, drawing shields. Recently I wanted to work on this half of Saturday, but my pet's a little sick and I have to give it eye drops 3 times a day, and it's a small dwarf hamster. So they don't really allow to be. Well, let's say they are hard to handle at the best of times, and because they're so small, yeah. On the second time, the little guy even squeaked. A hamster shouldn't squeak. And it has to be 2 weeks. The little fella's scared of me already. One and a half years old, more so, and yes, that will be. Hopefully, he'll have become over the fears when he dies. Probably this year also. Uh, so yes, I'm not really in the mood to do this, but let's let's begin. Personally, I wrote things down. Blah blah blah. I wanted to talk about shields, and that they are like walls, portable walls. Usually first used to advance to the enemy and prevent to be riddled with arrows. So, how do you draw shields? Well, usually you think it's very simple. I draw a circle, and after that I draw the character behind it. Means I don't have to draw most of the characters. Most most of the character. Well, that works at sometimes. It's not advisable, especially when you work with a skeleton. As you can see, complete. You can see, personally, this is also not correct now that I think about it, because hoplite and most earlier shields were not were not strapped to the arm, but held in the fist. So that arm here should have been more turned. Well, I never said I was the best mentor for this. Also, one of the things I like to go to how to draw sessions on events, because firstly it's fun, as you can see, opinions of people, and well, I try to look with new eyes, even if it's the same uh, session. You're bound to learn something new because even artists, or at least me, are lazy. So we we likely want to finish the drawing, especially when you're drawing a comic, to finish it as soon as possible. Yep, and the more you do it, the more steps you break. So these sessions are great breaks. As for not for resting, but breaks for bicycles. Well, you can see oak here. I've tried to talk English, not Dutch. Also here, you can see the shield. Shields and horsebacks are usually strapped to the arm because you have to be hand free to usually maneuver some horse maneuvers. Most also can be corrected with the legs. But you can see here gives a free arm while we can use a weapon on the other. Shields come in all sorts, all shapes and sizes. The hoblet ones are mostly made of bronze and leather, and are very heavy. You can see the Roman really did I use fine. Didn't use the layer. The older Romans versions are triangles. You see, triangles are three. How do we call them? One in English. Well, the more older versions are more oval, and while the Norse are made like this, and Viking shields are like the hoplets, only smaller. Usually, but they're usually also very they all those four examples, or five if you count the Viking one, are and the the shields operated by SWAT teams in modern times are the shield wall variants. You can see shield wall. Do you want to get yourself killed there? So that's a bit. You can see with most shield walls are also designed to protect the ones next to you. The well, blah blah blah. I don't. But if the Romans had a very nice variant, and yeah, let's be honest, even the Norse and Vikings improved upon it with a multiple shield wall here. Usually, when there's well, that's history. Not too much, because I use as I said before, I'm not very in the mood to talk about this. We don't want it to be something special and funny, but no, it's not to be. My mind is somewhere else. Da, da, da. Like I said, the the shields in the early in the Bronze Age and early Iron Age were held instead of strapped, and usually with the Roman versions they had a metal thing that gives and on the other side of the shield that the enemy usually isn't able to see is the handle. Same with the Norse ones, and probably also the older, the newer Roman things. Even the SWAT shields work with that in mind, with that system in mind. Why, you ask? Because, well, you want sometimes you want to throw away your shield at a time because it can be a liability. Like there's a big weapon stuck into your shield, for example. This helps when you want to run away, but well, that's not optimal for and advisable and preferable. But yeah, as you can see, usually the handle is in the middle, but with the hoplets are the handles more in the side. They usually strap the shields in when on horseback, on the arm. So no. So See, usually when you have toy shields, it works with that system. But there can also be straps here and here. But usually when the shield is when not in use and carried on the back, something the ancient Romans didn't do. And when they're very lucky, it's even on the other side. At least that's what I think, because it can also uh, being used for mounting on the wall. But it's not too surprising, because it gives you some extra ravage if one of the others above break. There's also the shield is the buckler. It is a shield not designed to soak up missile fire, and can often be used as a blunt weapon. Use these strapped on the arm. Well, I really wanted to go with some jokes, but I'm not in the mood. Uh, well, now with how to draw shields. I also already gave the lazy example, but usually when you want to draw shields, you draw the arm, the character, sorry, no, wrong example. Usually it's easier to draw a cross, because with a cross you can also draw shield. You can draw a circle or something else out of it. And well, like I said, with the old Roman version, you can place the hand there, or here, or there, and it goes to other variants of that kind of shields, like the hoplets. But when you go to with shields, take the thing in the, make sure the cross, the vertical line, goes with the arm when it goes strapped on. Same with the buckler. And well, you have your shields. And I only think that I'm a little wrong with the thing, but like I said, the shield is not the first thing you usually draw. You draw the character and then the shield on it. It's not advisable to start with the shield. Well, shields come in all sizes, size and shapes. And usually the first type of armor a culture had used, and against popular belief, even in Asia shields are used, but usually not the shield wall. Usually, when they use the shield wall, they well they use a literally wooden wall to protect them. Uh, when you draw fantasy variants, it's usually wise to yeah to go with the technology your fantasy race is built on. So if they act like Romans, give them the Roman shield variants, and so on and so on. But well, the shape the shapes are of course not important. You can easily make other shapes. Some are wiser than others. Well, I did want to say something, but I lost it now. Well, usually a workshop goes, no, let's try to draw something else, blah blah blah. Um, and that's not what they wanted. That wasn't what they wanted to say. Ah, okay. Uh, that's one I wanted to say. Yes. Like I said, it was shields were used for usually the first armors a culture used. So, and even when, and exclamation marks, more primitive civilizations, shields were still in use even when we were using firearms. And yeah, well, let's be honest. In Africa, it is very hot there usually, and well, if you are wearing armor, even made of leather, you've probably exhausted before you have even time to swing your weapon for a minute. So yeah, those coaches are usually using only shields and weapons. The only thing when shields were out of use is that the weapons were so the range of weapons are so advanced that they pierced the shields too easy. So the shields were more cumbersome than handy, and they were discarded. But yes, the police uses them still because well, usually rowdy bunches throw stones, and shields are up for the task to block those, and even Molotov cocktails. But if you do those, you asshole. Um, and even the ancient Germans were using were using shields and usually not using more armor because yes, it was mostly swamplands, and how heavier you are, well, the faster you sink, or you sink in some cases. So yes, those shields are easily discarded, and lighter. And even those coaches loved to fight naked. but they didn't have that excuse of warm weather. Well, that was it. I wanted to. I said everything I wanted to say. At least what I remembered. Sorry to be a downer, but yeah, that's life. Arrow out.